Hi, this is Lori from Chickenwood Studio, welcoming you back to episode 22, I think. It's been a long time since I've recorded, and it's been a long and busy summer, and I just wanted to make a quick little episode to touch base with you and tell you what I've been up to this summer. Today, the tea du jour is Tulsi tea, which is holy basil, with the big flower. I knew this would happen. Mallow root and hibiscus. And it's cold brew. I got an article in my email about how nice this could be done cold brew overnight. So I filled a bottle with water last night and put the 3 herbs in there, and it's really nice. Refreshing and soothing on my throat. I didn't grow any of these. I'd like to grow the Tulsi, but I didn't get seeds sown in time this year. But I did grow a bunch of other herbs, and they just exploded in the little herb garden. And there's peppermint behind me up across the little window there inside drying. And we do like to drink that tea all winter. It's pretty breezy today, and I'm not sure how this is going to roll, but I'm giving it a try because it's so nice outside. It's just cool and lovely. Breezy, finally a break from that humidity, and I just wanted to be outside today to do this, so I'm going to give it a go, and it's going to be podcast potpourri today, sort of. I mean, I don't have a detailed list, I don't have all the patterns on hand, but I'm just going to show you what I've been able to finish this summer, what I'm still working on, and probably, talk about things that are in the queue, as we say, and just probably I'll do some show notes if anyone is possibly interested in more of those details. Often I am when I watch other podcasts, so I'll see if I can do that. So last time I spoke to you, it was after the trip to Scotland, after the Edinburgh Yarn Fest. And there were a few things that I have not shown you. There are a few things I haven't shown you yet that I came home with from that trip. So I'm thinking I'll turn my phone down and start with a little trip back in time. I got home from Edinburgh and it was still winter here. It was March 20-something. And we still had quite a bit of cold and snow yet to go. I remember I was wearing a green sweater and it was nice and cold in the house. It was the most sweatery weather winter we've had in years, and I loved it, of course, which I'm sure I said many times. So anyway, we got when we were in Edinburgh at the festival, there were a few places I had on my list, as I had mentioned, that I was really excited about visiting. And the ones that I think I showed you last time were Berlin Yarn Company from the Outer Hebrides, and I don't remember the other. Possibly I'm going to do a repeat because I didn't watch my last episode to see. But so I visited Daughter of a Shepherd, Rachel, who does the Hebridean yarn and some blends. And I picked up a few skeins to add to what I already had to do something garment size. I already had begun, oops, my sweater fell down. Here's a story about that. I had already begun a shawl in the Daughter of a Shepherd, gorgeous peaty brown, just a garter-based pattern, which is it's a pretty lace section along one of the sides of the triangular pattern. But I'm thinking I'll probably take this out and put it toward a sweater, because now I have enough of the DK yarn to build something like a textury kind of workhorse type of sweater. And so that's, whoops, Daughter of a Shepherd. Yeah, and this is the DK weight, 75% Hebridean, 25% is Swartles. Not sure how you pronounce that. And it's lovely to knit with. I was so excited to find her at Rhinebeck, actually, where I got my first skein. And she had come to a pop-up show with Jill Draper last fall, and so it's great to see Rachel again, see what other things she had on offer. And that day she did have a basket of this, which caught my eye. Castle Milk Morit 100% Aran weight. So there's about 150 yards, and I could definitely do a nice hat with this. It's a nice, I know the colors will be a little off because I'm shaded a little today, but it's the only way I could be outside, so I hope it won't be too bad. I hope it'll be worthwhile. And also in Edinburgh, I was really excited to find Uist yarn, Uist wool, and picked up a couple skeins of this loveliness. It's gorgeous, natural gray. Trussard is the name of the line. It's a DK. It's Shetland and Scottish Merino blend. And I don't know what to do with it, but I love it. I just love the yarn itself. Something will present itself. And next to the Blacker yarn, was it display? Yes, that was Blacker by the Podcast Lounge, was a company new to me called Garthenor. And this was their single ply lace weight Shetland. Lovely. And I'm thinking perhaps a lace weight hap, perhaps a hap, or a lace scarf. Just really, I've not worked with single ply lace weight, so this will be new for me. I've tried and failed, but I'm always up for a redo. Let's see, also in Edinburgh, I may have already told you about my visit to Midwinter. In any event, I'll just retell you that I've been following them for a long time on Instagram, and it's really fun to meet Mr. and Mrs. Midwinter and see their yarns in person, and this yarn just disappeared so quickly, so it was worth making a beeline to their booth because it's a limited amount. And again, I'm always drawn to these natural grays, and this is the black and blue, 100% Welsh wool, blue-faced Leicester and black blue-faced Leicester. So the natural blend is this beautiful, gray and white blend. And then they dye that, and these are the colors I chose to go with. Kind of a very orangey gold and a warm yellowy green. You can hold it here in the light. I don't know. And kind of a peacock teal blue to go with mostly gray background, some color work. I'm so excited to work with that. Again, it's down the road a little bit. And the other yarn that I picked up in Edinburgh, but is actually from Norway, is some more of the Pelsul garn from Patricia from Norway, P. Fortune. I had started a little collection of this. Gray again. The light gray, except the majority of the yarn is in this chart. Oh no, I think I got that wrong. I think the majority is the light gray again. But I have two accent colors now, this charcoaly gray and this gorgeous red. So there's some color work, yoke knitting, and it's Norwegian yarn, and it's made at the mill it's the Hilsvag mill in Hjelmas, Norway. And this is also DK weight. 100 grams is 260 meters. Anyway, it's lovely. And Patricia gave me a little hank of the fleece from her Graf Trondersau, and I spun up a sample and I put that on Instagram. It is really sweet. I'm really psyched because when I see her next, we are going to do a fleece trade. I'm going to share some of my Flat Island fleece with her, and she's bringing me some Trondersau, her natural colors from her farm and her sheep. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. And that's about my haul from Edinburgh. And just for fun, at the airport, last minute project bag. Really sweet, different with this metal zipper. I haven't used it yet. I'm afraid about the yarn getting caught in this zipper. But I could always just fold the top down, like for a sock project. But the fun part was that I loved that so many of the things on this picture I knew about. I haven't been to a lot of them, but I walked by the Scott Monument. And I walked a little bit on the Royal Mile. Oh gosh, there were so many things I did not do. So I think that this definitely calls for another trip to Edinburgh with some extended time. Please, I so want to do that. I'm not sure if I want to do it again in March, but I don't want. I'd love to go to the festival again. We'll see. So many great things to do. So moving along, I think I'll tell you about what I'm wearing. This is my blacker project for the summer with Lioness, Blacker Yarn Lioness, which is half linen and half Falklands wool. And it is really sweet. I thought it might be itchy. It's not itchy at all. It's really comfortable. And I think I'll maybe open it out now. And I can't remember the name of the pattern. Oh, no, I do remember. Rosewater. I don't remember who wrote it, but it's called Rosewater, and it's a garter, crescent shape with this lovely, interesting lace with some yarn overs, and then drop them in the subsequent row to make this really open, beady looking. And I just hung this on the line. I didn't even block it out much, but the linen makes it hold the shapes so nicely. It's a treat. I really like it. So I would recommend that Lioness for a summer weight project. The Woolly Thistle is who I purchased it from, and she has a lot of colors in stock. So I'd highly recommend that, maybe if you're lining up projects for next summer. Or if you live in a warmer climate and you could use this all year probably on a cool evening. That linen lightens things up a lot. So that was a success. Yay. So I'll go ahead and show you the other things. I was able to finish a few things when I was away in Maine this summer. And that was quite amazing because there were several things that had been sitting waiting for ages and didn't really require that much time to get off the needles. Starting with this headband that I know I've talked about for months with the hand-spun Shetland yarn. When I was in Shetland, my friend Barb and I arranged to borrow some spinning wheels and spin up some roving natural colors, all the natural colors. It's there's a darkish gray, and there's cream, there's oatmeal, there's moret, and there's white. I think I used about 5 colors. And in a better light, I think I'll post a photo on Instagram soon. You can see more of the contrast. But I took a pattern from, I believe it was from Sheila McGregor's book of Shetland Fair Isle Designs. Really like it. I'm looking forward to cool walks with this on soon. So, and it's really soft. The Shetland fleece that we were able to get turned out to be lovely. It wasn't fleece, it was already carded roving. And we were very fortunate because I don't think that they make that available anymore. That was like the last of it, and that company stopped producing it, I believe. So, oh well. That is a happy completion. This is some on the round yarn called Silver Lining Tweed. It's signature sock yarn, superwash merino and nylon 80-20 blend. Rachel Jones up in Maine does lovely dyeing. I love her stuff. I have not sewn in my ends or nor blocked these socks, and they're just a simple 2x2 rib, but the yarn was lovely to work with, and the colors it's just gray background with little tiny speckles and stripes of multicolor. Really going to look sweet with a pair of jeans in the fall. Rachel made a whole, I think it was a pullover or a cardigan in this yarn. It's beautiful. Really good. And I did do German short row heel on this sock. And I looked it up on YouTube. It's really neat because it has a little more depth in it, because in the middle of the heel, you do a couple of rows. After you've done your short rows, you do a couple of rounds, to give you just like a 1/4 inch of depth for your heel, and then you do your short rows again. There's a lot of videos on YouTube showing you how to do this if you're interested. I recommend it. It fits nicely, looks nice. It's so fun because those German short row, the method really, it prevents the holes and the lumps and bumps that I've had with other short row methods. It's very odd at first. It just doesn't make a lot of sense when you first do it, but follow through, keep trying. In the end, it's worth it because I really love the result. So there's that. There's two more FOs. Here comes the wind. Oh, maybe I'm going to need this now because it's getting cool, which is okay by me. This is the bandana brioche, or brioche bandana. Also, this is Rachel Jones's yarn from On the Round. This is 2 colors of the, well, I don't have the label, but it's single ply sock weight. And I think one color was Time Traveler. I think this was Time Traveler. And this one has more purples and blues, and I don't remember the name of it. But they went together really sweetly for this bandana cowl, which was a challenge. It was my first brioche, and it's 2 color in the round, and then when you get to here, you switch that and you start going back and forth. And by the time you get to the back and forth part, I pretty much understood what I was doing, so it wasn't too hard. But I put it off for a long time because I was so nervous about changing. Once I understood brioche in the round, I was afraid brioche back and forth in 2 colors was going to make me crazy. But it didn't, because once you've digested a stitch pattern after a while, you just start to see it better. You read it better. So that was what happened, and I was really pleased. And I look forward to wearing this too in the winter. It's really cute. And then I finished my mittens, my Norwegian mittens, fairy tale mittens. They are the 3 Billy Goat Scruff. Aren't they adorbs? I love these. And I used some Finul garn, which was Raumath, the the sock weight or 4-ply jumper weight Norwegian, and some Shetland yarn. They're both interchangeable from things I had at home from other projects. The only thing I missed was that the tips of the thumbs, when I got to this one, I thought, oh, I had already done this, put it aside. I got to this, I thought, oh, sure, the navy must be the next color. But actually, it was the turquoise, because the fingertip and the thumb tip should match. I don't know that I'll fix it. It doesn't matter to me. It's kind of funny. If it was a gift, I probably would, or maybe I wouldn't, because that's that one element of human-made that might be a fun thing to keep in the project. So this was really, I was a little bit, not frustrated, but had to be really careful because these little stars are kind of randomly spaced. So everything wasn't completely symmetrical, like in a Fair Isle pattern. But after this first one was finished, the second one was smooth and easy and enjoyable. So I'd recommend this pattern. I was able to get a copy of that book, and it is beautiful. So I'm excited about starting a new pair soon, once I get a couple more things done. So I will talk about those next because I have a few things on the needles now. Just a few because I'm narrowing things down, which is great. It's a good feeling. So how have you all been? Have you survived your summers okay? What a season, an interesting season. I'm glad for the change, definitely. We had a great summer. We had the kids home and we all spent some time together for a weekend. We spent a day on the lake and campfire, and actually we didn't have the campfire because we had to leave and go home. But we did have a nice day, and we had other times, different places where we were able to overlap, some of us. And I had some time in Maine, and that was when I got so many of these things done because I had a few days by myself, which was awesome. So now I'm home making soap, getting ready for a sale in September, and harvesting the garden and the herbs and just getting organized for the next season. So this is hopefully my Rhinebeck sweater, probably the only one. The Birkin. Coming along. Oops, sorry, microphone hit. This is DK weight, well, sport weight, Carol Foster's yarn from Foster Farm. And it's called Concordia, and it's a blend of, I'm sure I have a label here. It's a blend of her yarn from her farm, her Romney, and Falkland Island fleece, sport weight. So I just dropped down a few sizes in the pattern. I made a swatch and figured out what I needed, number of stitches for the size that I wanted. And so now I have like 8-10 inches of the body done. I have about 4 more to go, I think, before I do the ribbing. And then I pick up the sleeves, and everything is just vanilla from here on in, which is lovely. This was quite a challenge. There are some rows in here with 3 colors. So in order to keep the floats long enough to not have it be too scrunchy, I had to really relax. And then when I do that, my gauge is huge. So here's hoping that when it's all finished and it's blocked, it just all shifts around together to be one beautiful thing. That's my hope. This yarn is really nice to work with. Be interesting to see other things. I haven't been on Ravelry to see other projects made using it, but I think I'll do that sometime when I think about it. Colors are beautiful. Carol dyes beautifully. Oh, here's the pattern for my blue shawl. It's called, I was right, Rosewater by Janina Callio. That was a nice, again, a nice soothing summertime chillin' knitting project. One more on the needles. It's a new yarn dyer that Sherry Iris, and she has a podcast too, which I've seen a tiny little bit of. It's very nice. And her dyeing is just, it just hits me. This is called Lorelei from her Gilmore Girls line. Beautiful pinks, peaches, purples, cream. And I just felt like it needed to be a sock. It needed to be a pretty delicate lace sock. Not too delicate, but just a little bit for some fancy. And it's just a chevron pattern with a little bit of lace down in the middle. Sort of a variation on another one that I've done before that's more solid looking. You know, it's like a multiple of 7, knit 2 together, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, SSK. So you've got lace in the middle and things on each side. Anywho, it's working out pretty well. I did a toe-up sock heel flap. So just for something different, and I'm pleased with it. I was able to manage this heel pattern, heel stitch thing in the back. So that's a delight. So check Sherry Iris out. I don't have her card in my bag, but Iris, as in the flower, Sherry, Sherry, and she sent a lovely little lavender sachet with her yarn. It's the sweetest thing. And I think a little tea bag too. It's so much fun to get these projects, these little parcels in the mail, and something new from across the pond or wherever, or across the country. So where am I? Let's see. I wanted to tell you about weaving a little bit and about this behind me. I think I must have told you about this before, my giant rusty cardigan. It's just humongous. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll just put it on the back of a chair and snuggle on it at all winter. Oh, right. This was spinning. This was from spinning. I had posted on Insta about my big Indian head spinner and was making super fat yarn. And this is my little cat bed that I knitted up for my kitty with my really long fat needles, probably like a size 25 or 30. I don't know what size they are. But that was fun. And I have a whole bunch of other old fleeces just waiting in the wings to be carded and spun up. So many different things. Not enough time. But it was really great to get that thing going, that machine working. And it's a lot of fun to just spin great fat or art yarns, thick and thin, fluffy, long draw, and then ply it together as large as possible. So I have ideas for the rest of those fleeces, and I'll get to those. So anyway, I've been doing a little weaving this summer. I managed to get a baby blanket off for my great niece. And so in order to do that, I set up an old loom that I had in storage, which was really super fun to get that up and running. I love fixing up old machines and tools to get them functional again. I had to buy a replacement part. I had to add on a bunch of old heddles, which was a pain, and it slowed me down a lot, and but the baby was going to be born. I had to get this thing done, so I dealt with it. And I had these old heddles from other looms, which were not meant for this loom, but they did fit. But they weren't fun to use. So I did get them on because I needed a lot of extras. Got the project done. And then in Maine, I was able to stop at Halcyon in Bath, Maine, and pick up some new heddles that match the ones on the loom. So now I have to take the old ones off and put the new ones on. But that will be delightful because the new ones are great to work with. I just should have done that in the first place. I should have paid the shipping, had them send the things, but I just wasn't in that frame of mind. So that was done, and I'm working on a rug on Big Bertha. I found some nice strips in my collection of rags that look nice together, and I got Bertha's harnesses all set up so they're working better, and maybe I'll shoot some video of that next time. Hair's going all over the place. And I was able to make a warp for my next towel project with greens and reds, orange, browns, some white, to put on a little new loom that I picked up at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. I had sold I sold my 8-shaft loom this spring and found this little one for towels, which is just perfect. So I have to replace a couple parts on that and put on some parts that are still in a little baggie. But now since I have the warp ready to go, that's the next step. So I'll definitely be getting that done. And hopefully have some towels available for my fall sale and winter sale. Back in the soap room. It was a nice break over the summer. But I'm back to stocking the shelves for September and the December sale. And it's been great. Nothing like homemade soap. It's so sweet when my husband stays overnight somewhere and forgets to bring his own and uses hotel soap or something, and he always comes home and says, I really missed your soap. It's just so nice. It just doesn't leave my skin all dried up and cracked. And so that's why I make it, because I think it's great. It's good for people. People like it. So we're about to head off again for a long weekend, and we'll be sort of unplugged again for a while. So I will hopefully get this thing uploaded and out to you before we go. I wish you all the best. There goes an old-timey car. And I hope that you are inspired and able to pursue your making and find joy in the moment. Be well. Talk to you later. Bye.